Iran today is a nation caught between powerful forces, facing immense pressure not just from outside its borders, but also from deep within. The whispers of dissent have grown into a clear and present challenge to the ruling Islamic Republic. For years, the Israeli intelligence agency Mossad has conducted daring and often deadly operations inside Iran, targeting its most sensitive military and nuclear facilities. These missions, which have included assassinations of top scientists and sabotage of critical infrastructure, are so complex that they raise an unavoidable question: who is helping them on the inside? It is widely believed that Mossad could not achieve such repeated successes without a network of local collaborators who share a common goal of overthrowing the current regime. This internal support network is thought to be composed of various Iranians who have grown disillusioned with the Islamic Republic's 4 decades of rule. These are not just faceless operatives, they are citizens who feel their country has been led down a path of economic ruin, international isolation, and endless conflict. They look at the state of their nation and see a future constrained by rigid ideology and crippled by sanctions. For these individuals, collaborating with an external power like Israel is not an act of treason, but a desperate measure, a calculated risk taken in the hope of liberating their country from what they see as a tyrannical government and reclaiming a future of prosperity and freedom. The assistance they provide is likely multifaceted, ranging from providing crucial intelligence on the location of secret sites to offering safe houses for foreign agents operating on Iranian soil. They might help smuggle in specialized equipment or create diversions to allow operations to proceed undetected. The motivations are as varied as the people themselves. Some may be driven by a political desire for a different form of government, while others might be motivated by personal grievances or even financial incentives. Whatever their reasons, their existence reveals a significant crack in the foundation of the Islamic Republic's authority, showing that its control is not as absolute as it wishes the world to believe. The sophistication of Mossad's recent activities, particularly leading up to the major strikes in June 2025, underscores the depth of this internal collaboration. Israeli security sources have confirmed that commandos were active deep inside Iran, establishing bases and gathering intelligence long before any missiles were launched. This level of infiltration would be impossible without Iranians on the ground who are willing to risk everything. They are the invisible soldiers in a shadow war, a fifth column that weakens the regime from within and paves the way for external pressure to be applied with devastating precision, making Iran a battleground where loyalties are tested and the future is violently contested. At the heart of the internal opposition to the Islamic Republic is a powerful sense of nostalgia for a bygone era, the age of Imperial Iran under Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. This group, often referred to as monarchists, romanticizes the pre-1979 period as a time of modernity, secularism, and close ties with the West. They see the Shah's son, Reza Pahlavi, who lives in exile, as the rightful heir and a symbol of a different path for Iran. For them, Pahlavi represents a return to a pro-Western orientation, a vision of a liberal society where personal freedoms are respected, and a government that prioritizes national prosperity over revolutionary ideology and regional conflicts. This monarchist movement is not merely a fringe group of older Iranians. It has found resonance among younger generations who have only known the Islamic Republic and are frustrated by its limitations. Through social media and underground networks, they share images and stories of life under the Shah, creating a narrative of a golden age lost to the 1979 revolution. For these supporters, Reza Pahlavi is more than just a political figure. He is the living embodiment of a national identity they feel has been suppressed. They believe that restoring the monarchy, or at least a government inspired by its principles, is the only way to heal the nation and rejoin the international community as a respected partner. The West, particularly the United States and Israel, watches this movement with great interest and provides quiet diplomatic and strategic support. For Western powers, a change of regime in Tehran is a paramount strategic goal. The current government is viewed as a primary source of instability in the Middle East, funding proxy militias like Hezbollah and Hamas, and relentlessly pursuing a nuclear program that threatens regional security. A pro-Western government in Iran, potentially led by a figure like Pahlavi, would dismantle this axis of resistance and fundamentally reshape the political landscape of the entire region, turning a key adversary into a potential ally. Symbolic gestures have become a powerful tool for this opposition movement. In a direct challenge to the Islamic Republic's staunchly anti-Israel stance, some prominent supporters of Reza Pahlavi have made public visits to Jerusalem, even praying at the Western Wall. This act is a profound statement, signaling a desire for peace and recognition of Israel and a complete break from the revolutionary regime's identity. It is a calculated message to the West that a future Iran under their leadership would be a friend, not a foe, aligning their domestic struggle for freedom with the broader geopolitical interests of Western nations. The simmering conflict between Iran and Israel boiled over dramatically on June 13, 2025, pushing the entire Middle East to the edge of a full-scale war. In what was described as its largest ever military operation against Iran, Israel launched a series of devastating airstrikes deep inside Iranian territory. The targets were not random. They were carefully selected to cripple Iran's strategic capabilities. The nuclear facilities at Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan were hit, with the above-ground enrichment plant at Natanz reportedly destroyed. The strikes were precise and deadly, aimed at decapitating both Iran's military leadership and its nuclear brain trust. The human cost of the Israeli assault was staggering and sent shockwaves through the Iranian establishment. According to reports from Tehran, the strikes killed at least 78 people and wounded over 320 more. Among the dead were some of the most powerful figures in the country, including the Armed Forces Chief of Staff, Major General Mohammad Bagheri, and the head of the powerful Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, General Hossein Salami. The loss of 6 top nuclear scientists in the attack was a blow aimed directly at the heart of Iran's most prized and controversial program, designed to set back its ambitions for years to come. Iran's response was swift and furious. On the very same day, Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei vowed painful revenge, and the regime unleashed a massive barrage of hundreds of ballistic missiles and drones aimed at major Israeli cities. Air raid sirens wailed across Jerusalem and Tel Aviv as explosions lit up the night sky. The attack demonstrated Iran's significant missile capabilities, and while Israel's defense systems, aided by the United States military, intercepted many of the incoming projectiles, some inevitably got through. The missile strikes caused dozens of injuries and significant damage to buildings, bringing the reality of war directly to the Israeli public. This direct military exchange marked a dangerous new phase in a long-running shadow war. For years, the conflict had been waged through proxies and covert operations, but now, the two regional powers were engaged in open, state-on-state warfare. The risk of miscalculation was enormous, with each side feeling compelled to respond to the other's aggression to maintain deterrence and project strength. The world watched with bated breath as the cycle of attack and retaliation threatened to spiral out of control, potentially drawing in other countries and igniting a regional conflict with catastrophic consequences for global stability and security. The recent escalation is more than just a military conflict. It is the violent manifestation of a deep and irreconcilable struggle for the very soul of Iran. The nation is fractured into two opposing camps, each with a fundamentally different vision for the future. On one side stands the established order, the Islamic Republic, led by the supreme leader and enforced by the iron fist of the IRGC. They see themselves as the guardians of the 1979 revolution, champions of a divine mission to resist Western imperialism, and what they call the Great Satan of the United States and its regional ally, Israel. For them, any compromise is a betrayal of their core identity. Opposing them is a diverse and growing movement of Iranians who yearn for a different reality. This group, which includes monarchists, liberals, students, and ordinary citizens, feels trapped by a regime that has prioritized revolutionary zeal over the well-being of its own people. They dream of an Iran that is integrated with the world, economically prosperous and culturally open. A nation where individual freedoms are not sacrificed at the altar of ideology. They see the current leadership as a dead end and believe that only a fundamental change in government can unlock their country's immense potential and restore its historical greatness on the world stage. This internal division creates a fertile ground for foreign intervention. The West's eagerness for regime change is not just about neutralizing a threat, it is about empowering the side whose vision aligns with its own interests. By supporting figures like Reza Pahlavi and applying relentless military and economic pressure, Western powers hope to tip the balance in favor of the opposition. They believe that by weakening the IRGC and the ruling clerics, they can create an opening for these internal forces to rise up and reshape Iran from within, effectively ending the ideological conflict that has defined the region for over 4 decades. As of today, June 14, 2025, Iran is not merely a country. It is a battleground where competing futures are clashing. The conflict is being fought with missiles and drones in the skies, through spies and saboteurs in the shadows, and in the hearts and minds of 88 million people. The outcome of this struggle will not only determine the fate of the Iranian nation, but will also have profound and lasting implications for the balance of power in the Middle East and the security of the entire world. The path forward is uncertain, fraught with peril, and hinges on whether diplomacy can prevail over the drums of war.